Thank you, Robert. It's great to see you as always, and I'm going to be in and out pretty fast. They just called votes on the House side. Our schedules are kind of crazy, so I'll have to be over there within the next 15 minutes or so. But supply chain issues are really critically important, not only for the United States of America, but the whole world. And we've learned a lot throughout the course of COVID in particular. And one of the things that's been my observation, and one of the reasons I think supply chain issues, particularly in this country, have been as acute as they are, and of course it's international as well, but government policies make a big difference. You get more what you incentivize. And workforce issues in the United States have been a real significant challenge. For all of my business owners in my district and around the state of North Carolina. And of course, we had the pandemic relief where we were providing funding for individuals, to help them out, and rightly so. But a lot of those funding streams were extended beyond what they should have been. And I can give you example after example after example of small business owner in North Carolina, in my district in particular. They were losing employees left and right, and they would candidly and very honestly tell their employer, it makes more sense for me to stay home and collect the government check than it does to continue to work. And a lot of them were older as well. And I know one case in particular where it was a husband-wife cook combo, and they had worked with this restaurant for 25, 30 years. And when the pandemic hit, they got used to that lifestyle. And when it came time to come back, they said, "We're not coming back. We're retiring. We've decided to retire early." The point of all this is it's hard to manufacture products when you don't have a workforce. And when things are arbitrarily shut down intermittently or over a long period of time like we had with COVID. And it's also affects the supply chain greatly when you can't ship goods from one place to another. We have a major shortage of truck drivers in the United States. Our rail has experienced that as well. In fact, that's why you saw the strike with the rail workers. Those rail workers that had been let go because of the pandemic, because they weren't shipping as much. They let them go. Well, they never were able to get them back. The ones that stayed on, they were like, "Hey, we're doing all this extra work, and we're not getting, in our view, the pay for it, the benefit for it." And so they did what unions do. They go on strike. And so this workforce issue, I would argue, based on what I've seen in my district, is probably 85% worker shortage. And then there are a lot of other components to it as well. You had folks that were sitting at home, they were clicking on that Amazon button, whatever they wanted to purchase, so much of which is produced in Asia, China, and other places. And so you had a massive backlog into the ports. You had restaurants that were buying up lumber. They were building outside areas because that's where they could operate rather than inside during COVID. Meanwhile, you have all these homeowners sitting around, and the husband finally took a beating from the wife, and she said, "Hey, I've been working. We were supposed to have done this project forever ago. Now you're at home. Get to it." So everybody's out at Lowe's and Home Depot and everywhere else. So you had a major, obviously, increase in demand for some products, and then couple that with all the manufacturing delays because of shutdowns, and couple that with transportation, issues. And it just has been a colossal mess that we just have to work our way through. Coincidentally, before COVID hit, there were a number of industries that had come to us as members of Congress and said, "Hey, we have some supply chain issues, workforce and otherwise, and everything seems to be siloed in Congress as it relates to these particular industries and their supply chain. We'd like to form a supply chain caucus." And so there are two Republicans on the House side, one of which is me, and then two Democrats that have joined us. And back in March of 2020, before COVID was an issue, we had launched this supply chain caucus, and it just turned out to be fortuitous that this would be a major issue. We looked to relaunch that supply chain caucus in the next Congress, starting January the 3rd. And we'll really looking forward to diving into these issues that much more. China obviously is a big issue from an international and national security perspective for the United States. We have a lot of components that are made in China and elsewhere. It's a process that has developed over a long period of time. It didn't happen overnight. And in fact, antibiotics and other critical components that are derived from China and other parts of the world, I think folks are taking a serious look at how do we, if we can't get those components where they're manufactured in the United States here at home, what can we do to help incentivize that at least those incentives where those components are manufactured in countries that are friendly towards our values rather than antagonistic towards our values. And I think the whole world is looking at that right now. If there's a silver lining around COVID, I think it really has opened people's eyes to how reliant upon foreign actors, hostile actors in many cases, we are, for the components from those countries, those key ingredients that go into everything that's made, whether it's made in America or anywhere else. So there's a lot of issues to dissect and a lot of components to it. There's a lot of complexity to it. But again, I go back and looking at my role as a member of Congress, what can Congress do to help with the situation? Number one is do no more harm. That's always rule number one. Number two, get your policies right. We as a Congress and an administration, I think, need to get our policies right where we are incentivizing innovation. We're incentivizing the manufacture and production of as much of our supply chain as possible in the United States, and where we can't, make sure that our allies and those who share our values are doing it, not our adversaries. And so I think that's probably a common theme for every country represented here today is where are all these components being produced? How much of that is being produced by an adversary that's hostile to our values? And what do we need to do to incentivize those policy changes, those proactive actions that need to take place so that we get these components from our friends and not our enemies. So workforce issues are a big topic for us everywhere I go in North Carolina and around my district, as I stated at the outset. And I really do believe that's probably about 85% of the difficulty, at least at home domestically, that we have as it relates to supply chain. But it's a great honor to have the opportunity to visit with you for just a little bit. I regret that I've got to head off, but I know that you've got great panelists who are going to provide far deeper and much better insight than I can. But I wanted to give you just a quick overview of some of the topic areas that we're certainly looking at as a function of the supply chain caucus that we've launched in the House. Thank you very much. Good to be with you.